Hello everybody, this is Homestead Patriot. Today I decided to do a quick video on the contents of my bug out bag. Seems to me, just looking at it, seems like it's a lot of weird odds and ends, but every single thing in here has a purpose, and some have multiple purposes, and I have a lot of redundancy. To start with, my most important thing that I believe that everybody absolutely should always have if you're in a bug out situation is the ability to create fire. So I've made myself absolutely certain that if I were stuck in a situation where I had to survive by myself or with my family, I can create fire. So my coolest tool that I have right here is this little camp stove. It's a pressurized system by MSR. It works off of gasoline, diesel fuel, kerosene, white fuel, blue fuel, pretty much anything that's flammable. You just fill the bottle up, hook these pieces together, give it some pumps. This piece pumps right here. Shit, make sure I pay attention to what I'm doing. This piece pumps, pump it up like, I think it's like 40 times, something like that. This connects to this piece here. It snaps on with this right into the bottle, and you have shoot, I'd say about 10 to 12 hours worth of burn time with this. And right now it's filled up with Coleman fuel. But the great thing about it is if you're on the go, you need to siphon a tank. You can siphon gasoline, you can siphon kerosene, diesel fuel, you know, what have you. Also I have this right here. This right here is dryer lint. This stuff takes a spark so well, and you know, most people just throw it away when they're done with it out of the dryer. I try to keep it because it weighs next to nothing, and like I said, any old spark, I'd light it up in here, but I don't want to set my bed on fire. In addition to that, I have these fire starting matches right here. Back out so you can see. There's 4 of these, and I have waterproof matches right here. You know, strike on book, keep away from children. Preferably you'd have the strike anywhere matches, and I think I'm going to replace these with strike anywhere matches, because if the book gets wet, if the match is waterproof, this book might not be, and if that's wet, it's going to have a real hard time igniting those matches. Alright, so there's not all the fire, it's most of the fire. I'll set this off to the side here. I have lighter, and I have a lighter wrapped in duct tape right here. See? 2 lighters. Both of them work. You know, no sense in putting a broken lighter. And these things cost like 25 cents to the cheapies. You know, who cares? Cricket lighter, and then I don't know who makes this. Bade. You can't see that probably. Whatever, doesn't matter. And it's pink, so extra girly. But anyways, this one's wrapped in duct tape. 2 reasons for that. Duct tape is awesome. You can use it as cordage. You can bind wounds. You can cover blisters, and you can peel off a little bit of this, and it burns really well. So might as well wrap your lighter with it instead of taking an entire roll of duct tape. I just rolled it around my lighter. So yeah, there's that. Now, let's go to the second most important thing I would say before shelter is drinking potable water. You know, all those ways I have to create fire, you have to have some way to carry some water to drink from, and you have to have a way to boil it. So here's just a little one of those little Boy Scout portable mess kits. It's got a cup. I don't remember exactly what it does have in it, so let's look into it. I keep the paper in there. I didn't just open this. I keep the paper in there because it rattles around, and I don't like the rattle. There you go. There's your little pot for boiling. This is your pan. There's a dish or what have you, like a plate, shallower, and another cup for drinking. This is plastic. It's basically useless. I like my things metal, but I left it in here. This all goes together like so. one way or another. Oh, this is upside down. This one goes together like so. Put this back in here. It all fits snug together. Close this back. Tighten it up. And you're good to go. I'm not sure if it's going to rattle around. It wasn't real. Yeah, that paper keeps it from rattling around. Alright, so that's for purifying water. You can get you some water, carry it back to camp with this, and fill this up, boil it, put it back in there. And that's ideal because, you know, as long as you can create fire, you can purify water. But if the case is that creating a fire would you know, identify you to an enemy or put you in danger, or it's rainy or it's cold and you know, what have you, and you just can't start a fire. I got these. These are water purification tablets by Coleman. I think Coleman, whatever, doesn't matter. It's a potable aqua thing, and basically what it is iodine tablets. But this one has something special in it. It's these neutralizing tablets. It basically makes the water taste a little bit better. I could care less whether it tastes good or not, but this is what they had available at my Walmart, so this is what I bought. Alright, okay, now after water, then comes shelter, and I have a redundancy in shelter as well. I have a Army issue poncho here that I decided to keep when I turned in my gear. When I was discharged, well, I'm in the process of being discharged out of the Army for medical reasons. But these ponchos are awesome. Let me open it up. I'm going to put you on the tripod here. There we go. So I can see. Okay. These things are awesome because what you can do with these is it's basically like a shelter half. If you've got another person with one, I think these ones have the snaps. Yeah, they do. This one has the snaps. This is the newer one. The one I had before was camo, woodland camo. This is the new Army Combat ACU digital camouflage here. I don't like it. It doesn't blend in with anything. But this is what they had available at the clothing and sales. Because I had to turn mine in, so I went ahead and bought it. But basically what you do is you take this hood here and you double it over and you use this cord that you got here and you tie it off one way or another. And if you got more than one person with these, they have these snaps here. I don't know if you can see that. They have the snap, that's the female end, and there's the male end. And if you got more than one person with one of these, or more than one of these, you can make a bigger shelter with it. And these things are like crazy freaking durable. They're a little expensive, but you get what you pay for, I always say. And this is a quick sort of something you can make a lean-to shelter with. I've got this cheap dollar store twine. It's not very, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't have a lot of tensile strength, but you can double it up and braid it, and then it becomes twice as strong, and it's really, really light cordage. A lot of people prefer paracord. I actually have paracord in my wife's bug out bag, and I'll do the contents of it after this video. So, and you know, we create redundancies with our two bug out bags. She's got paracord, I've got this, like, basically it's like baling twine, kind of like, but there's that and that. And this would make for a great improvised shelter. On top of that, I have this. This is a Hennessy hammock. You can buy these on the internet. I'll provide a link. I'm going to be providing links to almost everything that I carry in my bag. If I can find it, if I can make it available to everybody. This is the rain fly that goes over it. And what this Hennessy hammock is an integrated hammock slash mosquito net. These things are super awesome. They're lightweight. This thing with the net weighs 2.3 pounds or something. And you see it's got this nice mosquito net. It zips. The way you lay in these things, they have them designed to where when it's tied up to one tree, you know, this thing tied up to one tree, you actually lie it on a diagonal axis, inside the hammock. So instead of having to sway back and giving you a real painful back pain, you're nice and straight. And I sleep better in this than I do in my nice cushy bed. So here's this for shelter. And then next comes knives. I'm a knife nut. Let me get this back off the tripod here. There we go. I am a knife nut. I love knives. I have a lot of them. And in my bug out bag I keep 3 pretty awesome knives. This right here I got for $5 at Harbor Freight. And I know you can pay a lot of money for machetes, but I beat this one around a bit. I mean, you can see where it's starting to bend a little bit, and you know, you can pay more money and get something a little bit better. But for something that I need to whack away with and I don't have to worry about it breaking, because trust me, I have beat the shit out of this thing and sharpened it. See where it's been on my grinder. It's pretty good. The handle's pretty non-slip. It's pretty ergonomic. It's made in China. You know, I don't really support that sort of thing. However, I mean, for those of us who are on a budget, this would be something to keep in mind. And you can get $5 machetes for elsewhere. However, those $5 machetes I haven't tested, and I have tested this. And then to go up a notch, $8 Amazon. I'll provide a link to this as well. And this is a nice little knife. And what I've done here is, in addition to the redundancy in knives that I have, I also have another redundancy in the cordage. I went ahead and made a paracord wrapped handle, and this is about 8 feet of paracord. And those of you who are familiar with paracord, see this burnt end here. Inside are all these tiny little string filaments that run the length of the entire cord, which gives this its strength. And you could pull those out, and then you could have like hundreds of feet of string, cordage, twine, you know, what have you. It's pretty sharp. I've sharpened it up. It's not going to take any hair off, but it will do. I haven't tried batoning with it yet, but this is $8 from Amazon. It had a different wire wrapped handle. I used paracord because I like paracord better. And then it comes with this nice little ferro rod. A lot of guys will tell you that as soon as you get your ferro rod that you should pull the handle off because they fall off, but I haven't had this problem. And as you can see, I've put this through some use so far. And the great thing about this ferrocerium rod, or ferro rod, that dryer lint we looked at earlier, will take a spark from that like instantly, one swipe. And the great thing about this dryer lint is a bit like this will probably burn for about 5 or 10 seconds. Not intense, but it'll keep a nice steady flame. Okay, so that's $8 from Amazon. Ferro rod, halfway decent, made in China yet again. I mean, what isn't made in China now? This nice little sheath here, it's pretty decent. And then here is the cream of my knife crop, my K-bar. And then I know there's some guys out there right now who will be like, when they're about to see what I'm about to unleash, like, oh, why didn't you get the original? Well, I bought this when I was a private first class back in '08 when I was downrange, and I thought it looked cool. And since then I've done quite a bit of it. I've opened cans with it. I used it. I heard about guys, yeah, it's the poncho. You know, everyone will be like, oh man, why didn't you get the United States Marine Corps? Well, I ain't in no damn Marine Corps. I'm in the Army. And I thought this looked cool as hell. And it came sharp enough to take hair off. But like I said, I seen a video or a review where they're like, guys back in Vietnam when they were issued these things could pound them into a tree and use them as a stepping stool. And I thought that was cool as hell, so I did exactly that. These things are great for batoning. This one's good for stabbing. It's got a serrated edge. I don't particularly like serrated edges on my knives, but this one does have it, and I've had to sharpen it or hone it up a little bit. Not quite sure what that is. It's probably tree sap. But I put that through its paces, and I've heard guys say, you know, they're snapped, all the Tonto shit, stick with the USMC. Man, fuck that. I like this. This thing's cool, and it works, and it comes in this nice sturdy sheath. And then to go with my knives, I mean, you could count this as well. This is part of my mess. It's got a knife on it, but fuck it. It's also another knife, but I probably don't believe I'll be using that much more. As a matter of fact, this thing is a little on the heavy, dense side, so I might just tape a fork and a spoon, you know, end to end, a fork this way and a knife that way, or a spoon that way, and just duct tape the handles together, because this is a little ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to be opening wine if I'm on the run. The knife is halfway decent. I think there's a can opener on here too. That's kind of handy. But anyway, for my knives, I carry this little bad boy. Super light, super handy dandy. It's got a nice carbide edge and a ceramic edge for honing and creating new edges, and I've put this one through its testing quite a bit, and it's put good edges on all my knives, on my finer Gerber knives. It does a really great job. And then it's got this other little handy tool here, this little diamond serrated edge sharpener. Got a nice diamond finish on it, and that works well. And I think in a pinch you could probably stab someone in the neck. It's pretty sharp. Alright, moving on to other cutting edges. I've got this. Some people, I mean, a pair of scissors would do well as well. I don't carry a pair of scissors. I think my wife's got one in her bug out bag. I use tin snips. These will cut paper. These will cut fencing. They'll cut tin, so I keep them because they're ultra heavy duty. I also got them from Harbor Freight, and I put these not through as much shit because I haven't really had a use for them so far. But I think these are like $4, and you can get them at, you know, Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, helpful hardware place. And then let's see here. After knives, let's go to, let me put this over. First aid here. I've got the basic first aid stuff. This goes back in the fire. Oh, these things are great. For like $1 at the dollar store, I got a bag of 60 of these little things, you know, these little tea lights. I fold the aluminum over on them, so because they rattle around in there, and I don't know if they'll fall out, and I don't want the wick to fall out, so I bent them over. And these are good for fire starters. You cauterize, using the heat, your knives to cauterize wounds in a pinch. So I classify these as fire and first aid. I have these alcohol prep wipes for wound cleaning. Keep a bunch of these. I think I ordered like a pack of 10,000 of these things for $20 off of Amazon. So I keep like a handful of these things, and these are for wound sterilization, what have you. I got triple antibiotic ointment. I also ordered like a pack of 500 of these things. These are one application sort of things. I mean, you can carry a tube, but I prefer this because if you lose the tube, you know, where is it at? And if I lose one of these, no big deal, I have more. This is just basic bandaging, gauze, pain. I got painkillers in here, prescription kind. Don't ask me how I got them. I'm not going to show you exactly what's in here because, yeah. Combat gauze, quick clot. This came in my IFAC, individual first aid kit. I kept all the contents of that. I actually have more cooler first aid, like actual tourniquets and stuff that came with that. I just couldn't seem to find it right now. But this is quick clot. This you stuff it into like a real traumatic injury, and it hardens instantly. This stuff is great, and you can get this on the internet. GIs aren't the only people who are allowed to get that stuff. And then here is, oh, caffeine. Stay awake. This is just generic brand. Each one of these pills is the equivalent of 1 cup of coffee. And if you're on the go and you're just tired of shit and you're dragging ass, these will be a godsend. Keep a generic brand of men's one a day. My wife's got women's one a day as well. And I keep chewables for my kids. And sometimes I eat these. I like them. I also have this here. It's a camo compact. I use it when I go hunting. As you can see, I've used the makeup a little bit, but it's also got this nifty little mirror. Hello, handsome. For signaling, and I think you might, I've seen people start a fire with a polished aluminum can bottom from chocolate, so you may be able to start a fire with that. Other things, wind up flashlight. You know, you don't have to worry about running out of batteries when you're in a survival situation, so you just wind this up. This thing is, you can also find other videos on YouTube how to work these things to hook up through the ass end of it or wherever, what have you, for your cell phone charger, and you wind this up and you can get a charge on your cell phone for like a 5-minute phone call if that's necessary. This is a fishing kit. I made this from, it's a 20-pound test. I got, on the inside I've got lures, hooks, and what have you, stringer, and this is a toilet paper roll. I just stuffed it all in there. It's just something I did. I mean, I'm sure other people have come up with better ideas than that, but that was my idea and that's what I went with. Bug spray, mosquito netting. Hopefully you have a hat, otherwise it's just going to lay over your face, so it's nice to have a wide brimmed hat or a sun hat, and this will go over that and keep the mosquitoes off your face. Emergency light, a little blue light here. These are like 16 bucks. They're super bright, and the battery lasts for quite a while. Emergency blanket, or you can use this to line your shelter as like a heat redundancy. It will reflect heat back awesomely and keep you nice and toasty. And I have optics, a Sharpie, you never know. And then I know a lot of you are probably like, yeah, get to that part. Yeah, that is my 45 and my 22 here, and that's what these are. And these can be used to make fire as well. Those, hold on, I'm going to put you back on the tripod here. These can be used to make fire as well. You take apart the chamber, or not the chamber, but the round. I got. You take like that pair of tin snips, or a pair of pliers, or your teeth. I've done it with my teeth, and you pull this part off. Focus, focus. You pull this part off, and on the inside is gunpowder, not black powder. It's the I forget what they call it. It's the modern powder. Just when you're doing it, be careful not to strike the rimfire ass end. Unlike a regular bullet, anywhere you strike on this surface here will activate the primer and launch the projectile. So you want to be a little careful. Don't hit it with a hammer. But you can pour the black powder and strike it with the ferro, and you can make fire that way using one of these little guys. So they count as fire as well. But I have 200 rounds here. 22 ammunition, dirt cheap. It's a little hard to find right now. This is the Thunderbolt, but I have a mixture of the Thunderbolt and Winchester hollow points in here. I think each one's half and half, 25 and 25. So I don't have to worry about, you know, which ones are which or labeling. I always have some hollow points. And the Thunderbolts have a higher, not a muzzle velocity, but they have a bigger punch. Basically, they have more takedown power for something like a bigger squirrel or a cat. And then the hollow points, they fly farther, flatter, and straighter. And using those little hollow points that I just had, let me see, I think I might be able to do a comparison here. Here we go. So this is the Thunderbolt, and this is the hollow point. See, this one's got more inertia, more punch on impact, and this one flies faster and straighter. So this is like your squirrel, your varmint round. But I killed an 80-pound sow, shot her right behind her ear at 30 meters with my other 22. So don't tell me that those things don't have stopping power. If you hit anything in the right place, it'll kill it. anyways, back on topic. So there's 200 rounds of these, and 22 are like your ultimate survival weapon right here. You know, it's basic. It's fairly lightweight. I think this one here weighs like 5 pounds with the scope. It would weigh a lot less, but I got this one from Gunbroker, and it's got this rear sight, but it's got no forward sight, and I got it for 60 bucks without the scope. And the scope I bought from Walmart for 30. And then, yeah. So that's a 22s, universally agreed, awesome survival weapon. I have 2 magazines for it, but I only have one out right now. Each one holds 10 rounds, so it's 20 rounds capability. And then this bad boy right here, this is my Springfield XD Tactical, and you can carry this on your hip or carry this in your backpack. Being a federal employee in the state of Georgia, because I'm located at Fort Stewart, I can open carry without a CCL, which is a concealed carry license. And I have 2 13-round mags, 45. I have 1 full metal jacket, and I have 1 hollow point. And a lot of people say that these XDs don't do well with the hollow point. Mine shoot these out just fine. I've never had a problem. Anyways, oh, in my bag. Most importantly, well, yeah, most importantly probably, this is a Bug Out brand bag, made by Bug Out. These are pretty common in the military community. I keep 3 pairs of everything because Bug Out bags are supposed to be for 72 hours. Mine's a little bit more extensive than that. That's the weapons cleaning kit. I've got the stuff for my 45 and the 22. No use having a weapon if you can't keep it clean and functioning. And the only thing that my Bug Out bags miss are foods like MREs. Those are easy. I'll just raid my supply and get those if necessary. Any supply guys out there listening, no, I didn't actually say that or whatever. But anyways, yeah, this is Homestead Patriot signing off. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section, and then I'll try to provide a link on my website, homesteadpatriot.com, homesteadpatriot.net. Y'all have a wonderful day.